So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. And in today's video, we have the San Antonio Spurs. Now, the Spurs are obviously led by a generational talent in Victor Wembanyama. Back in 2023, he was taken #1 overall and just had statistically one of the best rookie seasons we have ever seen. He is going to be a very, very big problem for the rest of this league for a very long time. Now, unfortunately, outside of that, there is not a lot to love about this Spurs team. Last year, missing the playoffs once again. This season, for me anyways, it feels like their ceiling may be a play-in team. And ultimately, this is a team that is in the middle of a rebuild, right? They brought in Chris Paul this offseason on a one-year deal, and although I certainly do think he's going to help the development of Victor Wembanyama and maybe some of the players besides him, I don't know if that's really a viable long-term solution as CP3 is pushing 40. So we're going to talk about this entire Spurs roster. Obviously, our goal today is to get the Spurs back on top, hopefully win them a championship. I've been getting a lot of requests to do the Spurs, and that's why we are here doing them today. Of course, if you guys want me to do whatever favorite team or whatever team you really just want me to do next, let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, I've told you guys this multiple times, but the way I'm just doing these rebuilds is off of which comments I am seeing more and more of. So, if you want me to do a single team and you see somebody already commented that, just upvote the comment. Lets me know there's a big group of you out there that do want to see it. So, excited for this one today. Obviously, the Spurs are a very historic franchise. They have been very dominant for very big stretches. And our goal today is, of course, to get them back up to that dominant franchise. So let's get into it. Okay, now here at the start of the 24-25 NBA season, before we get into any trades or rotations or anything like that, let's go ahead and see what we are working with right off the rip. So starting out here at the point guard spot, of course, Chris Paul spent last season in Golden State. Always kind of felt like an awkward fit after he was dealt. And honestly landed next to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and it was just kind of a nightmare season for everybody there put together. So ended up getting waived by the Golden State Warriors, is now with the San Antonio Spurs. And as I mentioned, while I do think he's going to be a really big help to Wemby and maybe some of the other guys this year, at 39 years old, he's not any sort of long-term solution. So, I'm not going to go ahead and immediately trade him right off the rip. Hell, he might even retire after one season here, but he will not likely be here for the entirety of today's video, even if he is, one of the best point guards in the history of basketball. You got Trey Jones here. Now, he's 24 years old. Arguably, if Chris Paul wasn't here, he was probably going to be the starting guy for me. And at 24, there's still a little bit of room for growth there. We definitely don't know what his max ceiling is. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a star or anything like that, but, we continue to give him some solid minutes. Maybe that overall jumps up a few. Other than that, we got Blake Wesley here, who's 21 years old, was first round pick back in 2022, and ultimately it's going to just be about, the guys that are ahead of him, his overall progression, because at 21, still a lot of room there. So excited to see what we can do with him here today. Unfortunately, here in year one, probably will not be seeing the floor a ton. And then Malachi Flynn's kind of the fourth guy. Just not really going to play. Didn't Malachi Flynn go for 60? What was it? 70? He did something crazy. I know that. We move over to the shooting guard spot. I'm a big Devin Vassell fan. 2K is not. I don't know what it is about him, but he never really progresses that much. So I will keep an eye on that. Of course, I'm not saying I'm just going to trade him or anything like that. But, given the money that he is obviously making now, I'd like to see the numbers, continue to improve and get better, and that overall hopefully to continue to climb. So we'll figure it out here. You got Malachi Branham here at the backup shooting guard spot. Ultimately kind of fits into that mold, right? The overall continues to go up. He's going to see more minutes. It's just the way it's going to go. Stephon Castle. He was the 4th overall pick in last year's draft, and he is certainly a player that I wanted to develop as much as possible. It was obviously a very important piece in that UConn team that just won it all, and he is certainly somebody I want to really just see how high the sky can be for him, right? Because I really do think that is going to be the limit. I think he's going to be a very impactful piece for this team. And right now he's listed as our 3rd shooting guard. So whether or not I'm playing him at the 2 guard spot, the 1 guard spot, whatever it's going to be, I am going to find a way to get him minutes here in year one. We head over to the small forward spot. Now, Keldon Johnson, at one point in time, I guess the pre-Wembanyama era, if you will, was probably the best player on this Spurs team. And that's not a shot at Keldon Johnson. It was just an unfortunate reality of what this Spurs team was at that point. So, obviously they've gotten a little bit better now. Keldon Johnson is somebody who's at a 79 overall. In previous years, 2Ks, he's been around an 82, 81. And he's just not really there anymore. So, we'll keep an eye on it. The good news is the contract's not crazy or anything like that. 25 years old, though. We'll see how much better he can get. Harrison Barnes was a part of the 3-team deal that ultimately landed DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento, and Harrison Barnes is a nice addition. I like a veteran presence on a young team like this. Obviously, Harrison Barnes, has been around in the league for a while. So, probably probably not similar to Chris Paul, but he's probably not going to be a 3-year solution for us at that backup small forward spot. You got Julian Champagny here, only 23, but again, just kind of the third guy in line right now. We move to the power forward spot. Jeremy Sohan is somebody who I certainly do think has a little bit of potential. I just don't know if he's ever going to quite maybe get to that point where he's going to be a starter on a championship caliber team. So, we'll figure it out. He's certainly going to be starting year one, but it's going to be something we keep our eye on. And then I cannot pronounce Sandro's last name for the life of me. I have never been able to, and I really, I guess, appreciate NBA like play-by-play guys who have to like announce this whenever he hits a shot. So I can't do it. I'm sorry. We head to the center spot. Victor Wembanyama, of course, coming off of just a historically good rookie campaign. When he is on the court, when he is fully healthy, he is so much fun to watch. It is one of the true life pleasures that I have. I mean, just watching him go ahead and dominate. I'm thinking back to last year. Do you guys remember that game? It was the Spurs against the Bucks. Him and Giannis just basically just trading punches back and forth. Man, he is going to be a very big problem in this league for a long time. And he's only 20 years old. It's insane. You got Zach Collins here and then Charles Bassey, two decent backup center options. So, that's the team. Obviously, they are led by Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches in the history of basketball. But, I'm just not really sure how much there is with this group, right? We're assuming anyways Wemby's going to take another step. Probably not going to be an MVP candidate, but probably an All-NBA candidate. And he is somebody that will truly have to put this team on his back if they want to actually be a playoff squad here in year one. So, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case for us here today, but I'm certainly going to give it my best shot. So maybe a move or two before we kick off year one. A deal here with the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to land us a new backup power forward. Now, although the overall between Kenrich and Sandro are exactly identical at a 73, obviously Kenrich Williams is on a multi-year contract, and we are acquiring a first-round draft pick. So, Charles Bassey, I know he's only 23. He is going to be the third center, though, and as an expiring contract was really nothing more than a trade piece for me. So, this feels like a really good kind of first move to kick off this video, and if I'm being honest with you, I don't really think there's going to be any other moves, because when I look at the way this team is constructed, not only just the roster and the depth and all the talent that we do have, but the contract situation on a lot of these guys, specifically at the point guard spot. Chris Paul is 39. He's probably not getting brought back after this year. Trey Jones is an expiring deal, but he is certainly somebody I could be interested in bringing back. And then it's Wesley and Flynn, who, although Wesley has another year of team control, is probably not going to be any sort of, star piece for me throughout this video. So I'm keeping an eye on my depth there, and what I wanted to do is try to lock in as many long-term contracts as possible. So this is also going to be a bit of a weird one, because I do think Malachi Branham is certainly talented enough to get minutes somewhere. It's just not going to be here, and I'm not trading him because he has another year of team control. So Stephon Castle is playing ahead of him. I am basing this strictly off of potential, and honestly, I like Stephon Castle a lot. So Stephon Castle will be the backup behind Vassell here in year one, and that's actually probably going to be it for the moves we make. They got a lot of other guys and deals that are multi-year, and that's, of course, was my main goal after looking at that point guard spot. So let's set this rotation for year one. One trade is officially done, and we are ready to go here for year one. Of course, there was not anything major that was done to this team this offseason. In general, for San Antonio, was nice. I wouldn't say it was any sort of, grand slam or anything like that, but there's at least, something here, right? There's a team that is competent and hopefully will be at least functioning. It's going to be Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. I don't really think there's any major surprises there, 1 through 5. Bench unit will be led by Trey Jones. You got Zach Collins behind him. Stephon Castle, who's playing 15 minutes a night. Even if the game recommends I play him 0, my goal is to, develop him and progress him as much as possible, especially here in a year one that all things considered may end up being a throwaway season. Harrison Barnes going to be the backup small forward, and then Kenrich Williams as my backup 4. So, it's unfortunate. It's not even remotely realistic that Malachi Branham's not going to see the floor, but here in 2K, when we only run 10-man rotations with no injuries and stuff like that, it's just the way it's going to have to go. So, Popovich is obviously here. We're going to keep an eye on him and, what his future holds, because he is, for lack of a better term, he's old, and I don't really know how much longer he has left as an NBA head coach. So we will keep an eye on that, but we are obviously in a pretty good spot right now, and I'm excited about this year one, even if it may not be the best, if you will. I'll see you guys at the end of season 1 here in San Antonio. As year one comes to a close, I'll say this. We were mid as hell, but that actually exceeded my expectations. Now, we wrap up year one with a record of 42-40, where, if I had doing a different team, maybe that's absolutely terrible, but here with the Spurs, I'll take it. Luka Doncic, he is your MVP. Zachary Rizachet, your Rookie of the Year. Amen Thompson, 6th man. The good news about doing the Spurs is I do not have to get annoyed seeing Wemby win the Defensive Player of the Year every single season. So there are his numbers. We'll dive into everybody else's in just a minute. Thompson also wins Most Improved. Trae Young wins Clutch Player of the Year in 69-13. Nice there in Minnesota. God damn. Okay. let's go ahead and go over some things real quick. First and foremost, we are a play-in team. So we're going to be facing the Houston Rockets here in round 1. And if we end up winning this game, we'll be facing the loser of this game. And the winner of that will be the 8th seed. And here's a look at the East. Feel free to pause if you would like. Okay, let's go over some numbers real quick. Of course, we took a look at Wemby's. You can dive in a little bit further. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins. Chris Paul is maybe falling off a little bit in terms of the points per game. The assists are still pretty solid. The shooting percentages, the field goal percentage isn't great. 40%, is never going to be something I love. 34% from beyond the arc. A little bit lower, but he is, also 40, so it is what it is. Trey Jones here as our backup point guard. Stephon Castle, his rookie season. For, the role he was in, I wouldn't say it was necessarily terrible. Now, the shooting numbers are not great, to say it nicely. So, certainly something we'd like to work on. Harrison Barnes and then Kenrich Williams. All right, rebounds per game. That's not what I was looking to do. Rebounds per game was Wembanyama, and assists was CP3. So we are, potentially a play-in team. It's us and the Houston Rockets here in the play-in game. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün. Obviously a really nice young core in Houston. So end up losing this game. We are not going to be making the playoffs, unfortunately. It is what it is. So let's sim through the rest of the playoffs, and it is going to be Luka and the Mavs going up against Joel Embiid and the Sixers here in the finals, and the Mavs seem to always win it here in year 1. This game loves Luka, if you were not aware of that. So they get it done, get that, revenge, if you will, and they're going to be winning it all. So a couple retirements, of course, notably for us, it is Chris Paul, 40 years old now, kind of calling it a career after 20 years in the league. Also got, LeBron James calling it a career, Kyle Lowry, Al Horford, Mike Conley. So I'm not going to override CP3's retirement just so I can, re-sign him and then trade him or do whatever I was going to do. It's not going to happen. So let him ride off into the sunset. Unfortunately, will not be getting a ring, which is a likely scenario, unfortunately, at this point in his career in real life as well. So he will enter the Hall of Fame with Russ and LeBron, and he got a lot of jersey retirements there. So I guess the biggest moment of the video so far for us is going to be the lottery. Now we're projected number 14. That's Charlotte picks protected. We're not going to actually have that. So wow, the Heat were that bad. That's a surprise. We are at number 14. We also have the Chicago Bulls pick at 15, which is very nice to see. And then that Hornets pick's at 5. Unfortunately, it is protected, so we didn't have it. So Greg Popovich did not retire. He is still, enjoying coaching basketball, so he will obviously stay on as our head coach. Let's head up to the draft where we do have the 14th and 15th overall picks, and there is obviously a couple different things we can do here. Also have number 20 from the Atlanta Hawks, and then 2 second-round picks as well. So I'm not going to use all of these. I'll tell you that right off the rip, but I'm also not sure if I want to, trade the rest of them for, a star player. Well, hang with me. Okay, blockbuster trade has been pulled off with the Houston Rockets. Now, we are ending up moving all the way to number 4. This was the deal. It was every single draft pick we had this year, including the second-round picks and then one other future second-round pick, which landed us number 4 overall from Houston. Now, I actually tried to get number 1 from the Portland Trailblazers because it would have been fun to have, Cooper Flagg and Victor Wembanyama on the same team, and unfortunately, we just didn't have the assets for it. So, the 4th overall pick is certainly not nothing. We're not going to be getting Cooper Flagg, but we're going to be getting, hopefully, a pretty good player. So let's see. If for some reason Flagg does not go number 1 overall, maybe I'll go ahead and try to trade up. Oh my God. Okay. I want to see what the Miami Heat want for this pick. Let's just see. Nothing? Seriously? Okay. I know there's a way I can get this done. Why? I also don't know why Cooper Flagg's not going number 1, but let's see. You want... Come on, just offer me something. Like, who could I throw in here? You want Julian Champagnie? I don't know. Anybody else? So you want Kenrich Williams? And then I'll also throw in a couple seconds. Will you do this? Thank you. Maybe? No. All right. It's going to have to take a future first, but honestly, I'll do it. You can have my first in 27. Cool. I'm not sure, if that was the smartest trade in the world, but it is going to land as Cooper Flagg, so it is perfectly fine by me. So whether I'm playing Flagg at the 3 or the 4, he will definitely be in the starting lineup next year. So Wemby, Sohan, Branham, and Wesley all coming back. We look at qualifying offers. We have nothing. And my main goal right now is, of course, also assessing my free agents, so Jones and Flynn. But more importantly, considering my options at the point guard spot heading forward. Why this game does not update Jamal Murray's fucking contract extension. It's been 2 weeks since he signed this in real life. I mean... The actual NBA season hasn't already started. We can't be this lazy. The developers can't be not updating the game and contracts and things. Pisses me off. I need to figure out my point guard spot, and I do not really have enough money to go out and actually get somebody like a Jamal Murray or potentially a Kyrie Irving, but there's certainly going to be some players that I can probably trade for. So I'm going to pay Trey Jones, and I'm not saying he's going to start for me, but I certainly cannot afford to lose him right now. So bringing him back on a 3-year, roughly $33.5 million deal. Now we have some more trades. We're going to try to find a way to bring back an old friend here in DeJounte Murray. Now, obviously, we'll be playing him at the point guard spot. There is a relatively gaping hole at our one guard right now, and he could obviously slide right in and take over that position quite well. Now, obviously, I don't think the New Orleans Pelicans are going to want to give him up for, nothing, so maybe we can try to sweet talk him a little bit and find a way to get this done. Because I know I'm going to have to go with some assets, which is honestly fine, but if there's a way that I could land him, I would be very, very excited about it. And they're not going to do that, so it's definitely didn't mean to do that. It's probably going to have to be one of these picks. The Hornets pick's going to be... Yeah, I know it's supposed to be valuable. It is what it is. Okay, so DeJounte Murray here is awesome. He's going to go down 1 overall when you move him to the point guard spot, but, it's fine. And so welcome back, DeJounte Murray. So Murray and Jones, Vassell and Castle. Keldon Johnson needs to find a backup. I moved Cooper Flagg to the 4 if you couldn't figure that one out. And let's just see who my options are here at the backup small forward spot. And, well, they're not great, to be completely honest with you. Okay, some of the smaller... Ooh, anything here? Like Terrence Mann, 6'5", only 28 years old. Wouldn't be the worst option in the world. Bring him on a 2-year deal, potentially. I'd certainly, take it. Okay, welcome to the team, Terrence Mann. So we're going to go ahead. That's not what I meant to do. Move his position to the small forward spot, and I will just see you guys at the start of year 2. I'm not really sure what to expect here, for our second season in San Antonio. Because if I'm being honest with you, last season I had pretty much zero expectations, and we ended up being pretty decent. We were over 500. So now this team has improved, added maybe another generational prospect in Cooper Flagg, brought back DeJounte Murray, and really cleaned up some things around the edges. I think, honestly, maybe we're going to be a full-blown playoff team. So let's find out. It's going to be DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Cooper Flagg, and Victor Wembanyama. The bench unit has certainly gotten better as well. It's going to be Stephon Castle, Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and then Terrence Mann. So, excited about this team. I think we have really quality depth, obviously a couple new faces, and maybe even an old face here with Murray as well. So, excited and, maybe a little nervous is the way I describe how I'm feeling. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. Any thoughts that were in the back of your head that maybe we weren't going to be a good team, you can put those to bed. We went 64-18, and that feels like one of the biggest overachievements I've had so far throughout 2K25. Now, I'm 1,000% going to take it. I'm a little bit nervous that maybe we're just like a regular season merchant team, if that's even a thing, right? And the only thing that makes me nervous is we're relatively young, so I don't know how much actual experience we're going to have in a season that is likely going to end up with us as the 1 seed. Luka wins another MVP. Ace Bailey does win Rookie of the Year. Jaden Ivey, your 6th man in Detroit. I do not like the way the Pistons have been treating Jaden Ivey. I'm a very big Jaden Ivey fan, and I want him to play more. Wemby wins another D-Point. Alex Sarr, most improved. Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player of the Year. And seriously, you can't give Popovich one? He just revived this franchise from the dead. But okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. We were tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves for the 1 seed, and 63 wins. Getting the 3 seed is disgusting. That's insane. And then here is the jolly old East. Okay, let's go over some numbers real quick. All across the board: Wembanyama, DeJounte Murray, Cooper Flagg, Vassell, Johnson, Castle, Sohan, Collins, Jones, and then Mann. Rebounds per game led by Wemby, and assists was Murray. So first round of the playoffs, it is us and the Houston Rockets. Oh my God, James Harden's back in Houston. Wow, that's insane. Oh, if you're going to go back to Houston, put 13 back on. Don't wear number 1. Interesting. They've moved on from Şengün as well, and they're now have Naz Reid in the starting lineup. So interesting choices being made, all around Houston. So I think we can beat this team. Ideal, we end up sweeping them. We move on here to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who I've said this a few times before. Every single time I've been doing Western Conference rebuilds, it feels like I just completely never see the Thunder anymore, which is crazy because in 2K24 you quite literally could not miss them. So it's find a good balance, I guess I'd say. Let's get into it. We split the first 2 at home, lose game 3 on the road, win game 4, win game 5, and we are going to game 7, and we win, and we are now taking on the 63 win number 3 seed Dallas Mavericks, who obviously are the defending champs. So not a lot. Why? You have this man right here, and he's better. I'm not going to lie to you. I would take Derek Lively over Nikola Vucevic right now, and I don't really think it's even close, to be honest with you. So here goes nothing, man, in the Western Conference Finals. Wemby versus Luka is going to be a battle for many years to come. We are currently up 3-2 against Dallas, and we are in the finals. I guess you can put that experience question to bed, because it is Victor Wembanyama here in the San Antonio Spurs taking on Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. It is him. Jalen Green is now here. Okay, Zard Thompson, Tobias Harris. Oh my God. Is it 2016 again? 2015, whatever year? That's insane. Okay, well, here goes nothing against the Pistons. Obviously, I'd like to win this series, and we're just going to run them out of their own building, apparently. And I did not think there was any hope at a championship in year 2, but, maybe not right now, but barring disaster, we're going to be getting this one done. And maybe even winning right now. I'll see you in there. It is a 2-point lead with just over 2 minutes to go. Of course, you guys probably know this. I'll keep saying it, though, until I turn blue in the face. I'm not good at this game. You are all... Point proven. Okay, this is an actual relatively close game. Now, it's not a close series, but the game is pretty close, so I do have to kind of lock in and kind of focus a little bit here. So I will do my best to try to not blow this lead. Now, obviously, it is only 2 points, so it's not like this one is, locked up or anything like that. So I got, Vassell, a little mid-range jump shot gets that one to go, and it is now a 2-possession ball game. Big jumper there from Devin, and I'm just going to try to focus and play good defense, because that is probably the only way I'm going to have any chance at actually winning this. So DeJounte Murray doing a pretty good job here against Cade Cunningham. Two bigger point guards kind of going up against each other. I mistimed that one. Was that a hook shot? What the fuck? Okay. I'm going to try to use Victor Wembanyama because I kind of forgot that he was on my team. I'm not going to lie to you. So Wemby, you want to give me a pick here? Wemby. Oh my God. Yeah, I probably should have went to that as my first thing. But yeah, just throw it up for the 7'4" unicorn. He's going to dunk it home. Okay, let's go ahead and just continue. We can trade baskets all they want. It doesn't matter to me. If we trade baskets, I win the game. So there's... Shit. He caught me sleeping a little bit, but thankfully it did not go. Get the ball over here to DeJounte Murray, and we're going to try to work it to Victor in the low post. Can we just... Oh, this is a mismatch against Jalen fucking Green. Thanks for coming. What was that? Did I hit the fucking back of the ball? Wait, did I hit the back of the backboard? There's no way, right? Oh my God. Basically could have put that one out of reach, and then Cade Cunningham crosses me, and we're now back to 2 points. This is what you get. You all want gameplay. This is what you're going to get. Okay, let's try to focus. I'm calling for an ISO here, and then I'm going to try to dump the ball to Wemby. I'm going to try, you know what, over to Flag. And then Wemby, can you work it down low a little bit here against Andre Drummond? What would it be, 2025 now? There's just no way. Wemby. God fucking damn it. Cunningham for 3. Hits it. Yeah, we saw that one coming. The game might take a timeout for me. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, why is Stephon Castle in the game? I do not know. I'm going to call for Cooper Flag to come over and give me a screen. That's the horrible choice because he can't shoot, and Flag gets an easy layup. All right, 20 seconds left on the clock. There is a, real big possibility that Detroit might hit a shot, unless I got to lock it in. Here's what I got to do. What does a defensive lineup look like? Just curious. It's probably just the starters. It is the starters, and then Castle and Sohan in for Flag. I'm actually cool with that. I'm cool with that. Let's see. I don't need a basket, and I have a timeout. So if they miss, I'll immediately call that timeout. Let's try to deny ball here with Wemby. I do not want Cade getting the ball. Anybody? Oh, they're going to go in the backcourt. That's fine. No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm such an idiot. I'm trying to deny ball, and they get the easiest fucking shot of all time. All right, well, starters are going back in the game. Let's just do that. Vassell and Flag come back in. I am going to try to get a play to Wemby, right? We have about 16 seconds, so we have time. It's just all about making sure that this ends up in Wemby's hands. So I'm just going to try to do this, and let's go ahead and do it. Screen. Thank you. Come down. Wemby. I need Wemby to cut. Work it low against Drummond, and he goes up, and he gets the... I'm so sick of this fucking game. Now, it's not completely dead. Andre Drummond is not necessarily known as the greatest free throw shooter of all time. He's actually a really bad free throw shooter. So I'm hoping that he can miss at least one of these, and he does. So the bad news is that I don't have a timeout. So if I want to do anything, I basically have to throw it, not quite full court, but I got to get, something going. I do not understand how that does not go in. There wasn't even a shot meter. It was just like one of those that should automatically go in. But nope, 2K wants to bend me over, spit me out, and oh my God. Good night. If that was a Game 7, my PS5 might be in the trash. It's actually insane. No. Thank you very much. Victor Wembanyama, your finals MVP. Okay, well, after some of the worst gameplay you've probably ever seen, we have... Oh, shit. Override. Why am I not paying attention right now? I'm simming through this like it's over. It's not, and that actually sucks. And that Atlanta pick and that Clippers pick may end up being mine. Are they? Do there's protections? Looks like there's Oh, no. Well, the Clippers one fell to 11. That sucks. All right, man. Obviously, we are in the market for a new head coach, so I'll throw some money at Jay Kidd. I'll throw some money at Joe Mazzulla, and I'll throw some money... Oh, that was Stauffer. And I'll throw some money at Mazzulla. So hopefully one of them will end up accepting. I don't really care which one it is. Looks like it. Nope, none of them want to come here. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. All right, Jason Kidd, I will try once again. I'm not really sure why I can offer him twice. Jacob Underwood, I guess I've had some success. Christopher Murray, I don't know who you are, but I need somebody, obviously, so let's go ahead. JJ Redick's here? That would actually be really funny. I know the ratings aren't amazing, but it would be funny. JJ Redick is the... actually, his ratings are better than Underwood, so might as well. JJ Redick replacing Greg Popovich. It's a fucking meme at this point. Let's head up to the draft. We have the 11th overall pick and then the 30th overall pick. I'm just going to trade them. I know people might want me to draft somebody, but I just don't really need to. So, or maybe I'll trade them for somebody. I don't know. You know what? One second. As we enter the final season, let's just try to, maybe swing for the fences a little bit and make a major upgrade, and we're going to do that. We landed another deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. We now have 2 former Pelicans with DeJounte Murray and Brandon Ingram, and that's a little bit of an upgrade there, right? I didn't absolutely have to make a trade. There was nothing wrong with Keldon Johnson. He fit his role pretty well, but why not? Wemby and Castle both obviously coming back. Jeremy Sohan will be qualified. And as we now look ahead in free agency, there's not really much we have to do. Wow, Jeremy Sohan wants a lot of goddamn money besides pay our own guys. So let's go ahead and do that. Jared Butler, you can leave. And then I don't really think there's anything else we have to do, right? Is there? Do we have 10 guys? I think we probably should. I'll see you guys at the start of the final regular season. Couple big changes for the start of the third and final regular season. First and foremost, you might realize that Stephon Castle is now in the starting 5. He is 2 overalls higher than Devin Vassell, and 2K is recommending I start him, so why wouldn't I, I told you guys this at the beginning of the video. Devin Vassell's overall never really moves. It's strange, it's annoying, it's frustrating. Every other adjective you can possibly use, but he's just going to be in a 6-man capacity, and he's going to be a very expensive 6th man at that. So it is Murray, Castle, new addition here with BI. Still got Cooper Flagg, and then Victor Wembanyama. Bench unit's going to be led by Devin Vassell. Got Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and then Terrence Mann. So yeah, that's the team. Of course, we did lose one other big thing, that being Greg Popovich is now replaced by, JJ Redick. So a little nervous to see how that goes, but obviously the talent is here. We now have experience as well, and I'm not really too worried, to be honest. So I will see you guys at the end of year number 3 here in San Antonio. We finally have a new MVP. It is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as we wrap up our third and final regular season with a record of 60-22. I will take it. It's fine. It's not, the 63. What were we, 64 wins last season? It's still good enough. Cameron Boozer, also in Oklahoma City, is your Rookie of the Year. Domantas Sabonis is now coming off the bench in Sacramento. No idea how. Wemby wins his 3rd straight. Depoy, Jarris Walker, Most Improved. John Morant, Clutch Player of the Year. And our guy, Mr. JJ Redick, just stepping in, replaces Popovich, and he is now Coach of the Year. Okay, standing time. We are 5 games up on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Chicago Bulls taking the 1 seed here. Really? Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers all across the board. Points per game, Wemby, Cooper Flagg, Brandon Ingram, Murray, Vassell. I mean, you guys kind of get the picture. Rebounds per game led by Wemby, and this was Mr. Murray. So first round of the playoffs, us and Dallas Mavericks, of course, they've been really good throughout this video so far. Big 3 of Luka, Kyrie, and Lively. Still got Vucevic off the bench. A couple new starters in there as well. So I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That is the state of the Western Conference, though, where any team can really beat anybody. We end up winning in 5. Now we move on to the second round to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant just won a Clutch Player of the Year. They got Jimmy Butler here. But I'm not really where'd Jaren Jackson Jr. go? Where's Desmond Bane? I'm not really sure. But let's see what happens here in the second round. Split the first 2 at home, lose game 3 on the road, tie it up at 2-2, go up 3-2, and we end up going to game 7 where we end up winning. And now we are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Rob Dillingham, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Towns. This is a really good team. So I think they're beatable. I'm just a little nervous, to be honest with you. We're up 2-1 right now. They tie it up at 2s. We go down 3-2, and we get bounced in 6. Damn, disappointing end to what was an overall really positive season. All right, man. This one was fun. Of course, we, maybe could have done a little more heading into year 3, but, I mean, we added Brandon Ingram. So, if Popovich doesn't retire, maybe I'll make the argument we would have went back-to-back. But nonetheless, Victor Wembanyama, man, now a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, of course, has led us to Larry O'Brien, has won a Finals MVP. He's insane. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'll say this. I'm happy my Celtics got their championship out before this guy hits his prime, and it's just, literally not unstoppable, for lack of a better term. So this one was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. My goal is to get through all 30 teams before the actual NBA season tips off, I believe on October 22nd. So just over a month away, man. I miss it. You probably miss it. And just before you know it, we will have hoops back. So that is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.